Rob, on the report, you were good.
It's the man behind the curtain.
Oz.
I just want to get invited to Thanksgiving one year at y'all's house. I'd love to see that
Are
play
you
out.
ready, Miss Sue? Sure. The special called meeting of the Germantown Board of Education is now in session. We were called for one purpose, and that was revision of policy 4.600 pursuant to grading. Mr. Manuel.
Yeah, so as you're aware, I think this is obviously a policy that we could spend more time and would recommend that the board look at just the pros and cons of having it in general, exam exemptions. But in light of the current coronavirus pandemic, we want to remove all incentives for children who are sick to come to school. We still have families that, and with spring break coming, that are traveling. We have groups that will be traveling. We do not want children to be worrying about being exempt from their exams and coming to school if they have any symptoms. So it is our request just for this semester at this time, and like I said, the board can take this up to look at the topic in general before next school year if y'all desire. But just for this time, we would like to strike half of the bold section on number 12. It's line 27 of policy 4.600. And the part that we want to strike is the bold italicized, or not italicized, capitalized part that says any unexcused absence of or more than 5 excused absences per semester in the course will disqualify the student from all exemptions. That is the section that we would like to strike at this time. We still want there to be the grade component left in this policy, but like I said, the focus is on keeping children who aren't feeling well, let them stay at home and not be worried about being exempt from their exams. So if the board
is this a suspension of that phrase?
It's a suspension of that phrase.
Does that phrase include exemptions apply only to teacher-made semester exams?
I would leave that section.
Leave that, okay.
Section in there because we cannot exempt people from Tennessee
mandated
ready
Right.
tests, state
Right.
mandated tests.
Just
AP
asking for clarity
yes.
since it was bold.
But that's what that
Yeah.
reference is.
Yes, it's referring to the teacher exam. So AP tests are required by state if you're going to sit for an AP course. So you have to have the students take those tests.
So how would we,
What's a timetable if we're saying suspend?
So
School
we're
year
just
20
well, it's
remaining
this
school year.
semester, the remainder of this year.
okay.
Okay.
And if the board is willing to take this topic up again, and we can take it up
Yes.
in April.
Yes, please.
Or May, if y'all want to, we can go ahead and just strike it for right now, not worried about the language of suspend. We can just modify this policy, striking that section, and then
I think that's
knowing that we're
cleaner.
going to come back in.
With the recommendation.
I think that would be a lot cleaner, because
I think that's
I know
cleaner.
I've had hesitations about this regarding illness in school
Right.
from the beginning when we did this, though I understand the background of the state's push for attendance.
So we can go ahead and just strike that,
So, yeah,
that
I'd like
one,
us to send
those
it.
ones.
Let's strike it.
Sentence,
Yes.
and we will revisit it before the end of the school year.
Because
Okay.
we actually, it used to be 3 days, then we took it off without any
Right.
kind of thing. Then we
Yes.
brought it back with 5
5
days
days.
Yes.
Per semester,
per semester. So we've had some different variations over the
Variations.
years.
yes.
Mr. Manuel, would you speak to a little bit of the data that kind of going back to how that has changed over time? And
Yeah, so
Our attendance
it does have an impact. I'm not as concerned about that now, like I said, in light of what's happening, our data does support
I
it.
mean,
But
even just
yes.
the flu this particular school year has
Was
been
awful.
Has been
a
bad.
Yes.
tremendous impact, and so
So we did see a dramatic decrease in our attendance rates positively. So that was a positive thing, the number of students that were missing school when we added this component back in. So Mr. Bland has a whole chart from what happened year to year. So like I said, when we're ready to discuss all the details, I can't tell you the exact.
well, no, but you brought it up in
To the
conversation
point, like
yesterday,
50
since this is a
like
public meeting.
50
Just
yes.
because I heard it on the phone doesn't mean that the
Yes.
world knows it, so
Yes,
that's
so
why I wanted to
like
make
there
sure
were
it was mentioned.
huge decreases in the number of students that were missing school once we changed this policy.
But then again, the purpose of this change.
If you're
just really
sick,
to
stay
just, right,
home.
please, to encourage people that are not well to not attend.
That's right.
Because of this, this be the reason.
That's
for the
right.
counties for that.
Yeah, and that's how do you figure out the impact
balance.
of kids who come to school because, even though they're sick, because they want to be exempt? And there are, I mean,
There are a lot.
having,
That's gonna happen.
having a high schooler myself who wants to be exempt from exams,
My
if
children
she
did the
were
same
sick,
thing,
she
'cause
would
it
go.
was 3 days back then, so
Yeah.
they definitely did not
But I
want
think
us.
we have to weigh the advantages
Yeah.
to taking exams
Right.
against the incentive
Yeah.
of not taking them. Because there are advantages to them learning to take semester exams in high school.
I
I
agree
completely agree.
Before they go on
wholeheartedly.
to college and they only have 3
I do
grades.
not
They're
believe
not
there
getting
should be
exempt from
any
there.
reason for an
Well,
exemption,
and
but
that-
that's my
I took
personal
my
That's even-
exams.
I did too, well, up to my senior year, and that may be something we look at as well, is that, is that something that we eliminate
Completely.
exemptions until senior year?
Yes.
Well,
So we-
it
we
seems
played
to
with
me,
different- yes.
That's what
if you're
talking
an
about.
A student and you're college bound, part of us preparing you for college is learning how to take cumulative exams.
I agree with that completely.
That's,
Striking
So
the
I just would,
balance.
I would just think that when we discuss it, I think we do need to discuss the option
Right.
of potentially making exam exemptions senior year only.
And we did do that one year, so I'd be interested. Did we just junior and senior or just senior?
I think it was senior.
But it'd be interesting to see which year that was and how the.
You know, and you could even
processes work.
compromise and just do an exemption for the second semester of a senior
Right.
Did we do
year.
that too?
That's a great
So,
rule.
see,
I think we did that too.
how long has this
point, does it
district been
really
in
matter?
existence?
6 years.
We've done a lot of different things on this.
We all had fun.
that's why you're describing.
That's
That's
right.
why
There's been a lot of
that's
things.
important. As it pertains now, this is mostly to keep.
Right.
So do you
Keep
need,
people home.
Madam Chair, do you need a motion?
I do need a motion.
I move to strike the wording regarding excused absences as it pertains to exam exemption, beginning on line 30. 30, and extending to line 33 of policy 4.600 grading.
And for clarification, do you mean unexcused and excused or only
Une-
excused?
Unexcused at whatever the policy says.
Thank you. Both.
Vote.
Is there a second?
Second.
Discussion we've had?
I
Ms. Su-
I think I want to just clarify, this doesn't just deal with coronavirus, so we're
No.
not trying to add to hysteria here. We don't have it in our schools, it's not in around us. This has to do with keeping sick kids
Kids
home.
home.
Yes.
Of any
Yes,
kind
all
of
of them.
sickness.
And the flu this year has been particularly bad and has hit us hard. So no, it's any
Right.
sick child needs to stay at home.
And I would like to thank Ms. Fisher for coming and speaking to this at our last meeting.
Yes.
And also commend her for being the parent that keeps that sick kid home, even when the kid is crying to go to school,
Right.
knowing that it's the best choice to keep her home.
Absolutely.
So I think that would be, I think calling that out and saying thank you to Ms. Fisher for that.
Ms. Fisher is aware we're considering this today. I've already called her.
Good.
Good.
Okay.
All right, Ms. Subramani, would you please call the roll?
Ms. Fisher,
Yes.
Ms. Landers,
Yes.
Ms. Griffith,
Yes.
Ms. Oaf,
Yes.
Chairman Luter.
Yes.
Thank you.
That concludes our business for this special called meeting, therefore we stand adjourned.
Thank y'all so much for being able to come.